Hello everybody, this is Yusef for Video Game Plot Summaries, and these are my thoughts on Persona 3. A little port town has a dirty secret. At 12 at night, all reality freezes for an hour. This is called the Dark Hour. Now, almost everybody in the Dark Hour turns into coffins, but some special people are not affected by the Dark Hour and are allowed to roam around. The only problem, however, is that there are monsters roaming around called shadows. The shadows eat your brain energy and leave you there pretty much brain dead. In the real world, they call it apathy syndrome. A group of people called Sees, that's S-E-E-S. I forget what the acronym is, so I'm not going to look it up. Anyway, a group of people called Sees are able to stay awake during the dark hour and also use their persona. Their personas are their alter egos materialized with special powers. So, not like Spider-Man or Superman have alter egos, but let's say that Peter Parker's alter ego was Spider-Man, but instead of him putting on the outfit to be Spider-Man, Spider-Man just appeared from his brain to fight for him. That's what a persona is. You are Yusef Ghibli, or whoever you choose to be, and you are chosen to lead this group of persona users to defeat the shadows for good. Of course, being an RPG, there's a lot more to it, but I think you get the idea. This JRPG is interesting enough to have been released in multiple platforms. The one that I played was the original. However, you can play the one on PlayStation Portable that offers you the choice of choosing a boy or a girl. It's a little funny because the boy looks very emo and cool, and the girl just looks like a regular chick. I thought they would at least make the girl look like a different version of the boy. Otherwise, there isn't much to say about the game that hasn't been said a bunch of times before. Everybody always explains that the Persona series is very difficult, but they never really explain exactly why. They just say that the bad guys are hard, and that in order to defeat them, it requires a lot of grinding. But here's the skinny. It's turn-based combat. However, you only control one person. You are able to give commands to the different characters that are in your party, but by and large, they act for themselves. The big problem in this game is the limited amount of control that you have. For instance, you are unable to give characters items outside of the battle screen. You can dress them up in armor, but you can't hand them high-level healing potions, and magic replenishing potions are hard to come by. Also, the bosses are structured so that you have to play them twice. The first time to form the strategy and figure out what the boss is weak to, and the second time to implement the strategy. By the time you figure out what to do against the bad guy, he's already beat up most of your party. Also, for major story bosses, the chance to save your game happens before the actual story picks up leading to the boss. So you'll basically start the story full of talking and then go to a place to fight the boss. You fight all his minions, and when you finally get to the boss, he's going to beat you unless you're really good at JRPGs, and I mean to the point of seeing the future. After you get beat the first time and come up with a strategy, you have to basically relive the whole story over again. I mean, if you jam on the button and motor through the talking parts, it's still 10 to 15 minutes of crap before you fight the bad guy again. There is also the price hike in weapons that make sure you stay poor, the forced side quests of making friends who basically come to conclusions all by themselves while you stand there and say nothing, and the time-consuming exams and holidays that keep you from developing the friendships, thus halting your persona training. Another thing that bothers me is the overall idea of persona. The game mechanic teaches you not to create friends for the sake of having friends, but to create friends for the sake of having more strength solo. Seriously, this whole game, you are pretty much alone, and the only reason anyone talks to you is because you're a very attractive young boy and you rarely say anything. Even though you're a silent protagonist, they give you a choice of what to say at times, but either the choices don't matter because the character you're talking to will literally respond in one sentence and then go on with the exact same conversation, or they do matter and you're just picking an answer that will make the person you're talking to like you more so that you can activate more stories faster. So yeah, be an individual when it doesn't matter. Also, the game is long as hell and designed for you to play through twice, maybe even 3 times. For all these reasons, I suggest you play the game on easy so that it is a little bit more tolerable. I started playing the game on normal, but I realized that there's no way I'm going to get through it with all these frustrations in place. Also, the end guy takes a really long time to beat, and if you lose to him, you will have so much of a journey to get back to where you were that you might rage quit at the end of the game anyway. So yeah, do yourself a favor. Anyway, that's all I got. So what do you think about Persona 3 if you played the game already? Are there any frustrations that you want to share with me that I didn't think of? What is it that you really liked about the game? Leave everything in the comments or send me an email at yusef.crow@gmail.com and I'll be happy to hear what you have to say. Also, I'm still working on the video game plot summary, so if that's up by the time you see this, make sure you go ahead and check it out. It's going to be a long one because this game is a long one. Alright? Anyway, you guys have fun. I'll talk to you later. Peace.